So thank you guys for being on. Some of you are on the team, on my team, and some of you aren't. And we always open these up to as many people as we can. But thank you, regardless, for being on. Tonight's topic, we wanted to kind of, going into the new year, talk about taxes and talk about smart money management, write-offs, how to kind of maximize your write-offs, maximize your earnings potential, and minimize your tax liability. For those of you guys who don't know, we get a 1099 in this company, okay? So I guess I should say who I am. My name is Melissa Martin. I always do this. My name is Melissa Martin. I'm a 25K affiliate currently. I started in July. So it's been about 6 months that I've been in this business. I went 5K in my first 2 weeks, and I don't say that to brag, but I say it to inspire you guys in knowing that it's something that can easily be done. I was working 70 hours a week at a job, raising my 2 girls, and then doing this on the side, and was able to do that. You need to be intentional with your business. You need to show up. You need to learn and work your 5 daily disciplines, but it's totally, totally doable. Most of all, I would encourage you to be a professional learner, though, because the second you think you know everything in the business is the moment where your business will actually decline. I was reading the 10X rule today, and he said, any sort of historical nation that has stopped their growth process or whatnot, shortly after their nation just totally declined. So it's pretty interesting. You need to be quiet and behave during this. You got it? Got it? Okay. Grandma's on. So she's waving to you right there. All right. So that being said, I want you guys to be very smart with your money, and I am not a CPA and I am not a tax professional. But when I was in a previous business, I made a lot of money really fast. And at one point we got to tax season and I was like, oh my God, I did my taxes personally, which I don't recommend. And I was going to owe over $40,000 in taxes. Okay. On top of that, we were paying like $1,500 a month for health insurance or private health insurance. No, it was $1,000 a month at the time. And so I was just like I can't believe this. And so I wanted to share kind of what I've learned the hard way with you guys in terms of just being smart with your money, minimizing your tax liability. And then we're going to kind of get more into the nitty-gritty of maximizing earnings potential overall. So you're welcome to stay on for that. If it is something that overwhelms you and you're like, whoa, I don't know, then don't by all means hop off. Don't let it overwhelm you. I know there's a lot of people on here that plan on being 50K, 100K, 250K within the next year. And I want them to do it the smart way. That'll be for those people that are, really, really striving for that, which each and every one of you are capable of doing. So that being said, first and foremost, be smart with your money. Okay, guys, I run for a director's pack each and every month at the first of the month because I want to see that I'm binary qualified as soon as possible. I don't want to forget to place my order. And I also know that throughout the month we get crazy amounts of bills, and my business is what's going to pay those bills. But right now, I'm sure a lot of people are watching the dollar, the money in their bank account like slowly go down. And so I do that at the first of the month for a lot of those reasons. But by doing a director's pack, I can now sell 3 retail. That's my goal, at least each month. By doing a home party or an event, I have committed myself to an event or home party each and every month, and have 1 extra for myself, pretty much, that I get for free, because now I'm getting them for $50 a piece instead of $69 a piece. So that's kind of like what I do. So be smart with your money. The commissions that you get, don't piss it away. Okay. Don't piss it away, guys. When I first started, and still to this day, like my husband right now, I just transferred $6,000 worth of commissions into our private account instead of our business account. And he was like, I said, let's go pay off that credit card. And he's all, no, let's just put $2,000 on it. And I'm like, no. So especially for those of you who are working right now, your job is to pay your bills. You've gotten that job to pay your bills. If your job is not enough money to pay your bills, then good thing you found this, because you guys are worth more than that. So when you get that money in your bank account, your commissions, be smart. Go pay off debt. Go pay off debt. Take whatever balance, and this is from the, what is his name? Mom, help me out here. Mom, what's that?
Dave Ramsey.
Thank you, Dave Ramsey, Laura. This is Dave Ramsey. So you take whatever has your least amount of debt, and you just pay it off. It doesn't matter if it's got the highest amount or lowest amount of interest, just get that paid off. Don't touch it again, cut the card up, whatever. So for me, that was our car, which is crazy to think that I have more on a credit card than I had on a car loan. But so I paid off the car. That's the first thing I did with all of my commissions. The next thing I've done, and it's going to be paid off now that Joey was like, my husband is Joey. He's like, no, we're just going to pay off $2,000. I'm like, no, we're not. We're going to pay off that whole damn credit card. So then I will pay off the credit card. That'll get paid off as soon as the banks open up and let me in. Be smart with your money. Don't be putting a bunch of stuff on credit cards if you can avoid it. Don't be going out splurging and all that. Be smart. So the next thing I will do is then save up for a pool in cash. And I will show you this, guys. Write your goals down coming into the new year and put a timeline to them. This has been sitting in front of my computer that I look at every single day. And it said, I want to make $10K a month. I want to be a work-at-home mom again. Check, did that. Credit cards paid off by the end of the year. Check, doing that. Car paid off by 2/27/19, which would be my birthday. So y'all need to mark your calendar for my birthday. Just kidding. And I'm doing that early. I've already paid off the car. And a pool paid for in cash. I didn't put by this summer, but I'm going to put that. So guys, looking at that each and every day is really important, because you're going to be able to say, I'm tired. I was tired today. It's been the holidays. I did a crazy ass workout. Been trying to clean my house for people coming. I was tired. I don't want to be on here. But I know when I come into this office and I see that, I go, all right, Melissa, get your shit together. You're doing this for a reason, and it's not going to be easy. Okay. So you got to have something to look at. Please, please, please write your goals down, write your dreams down, and put a time limit on it. Be smart with your money. I've seen too many people make really good money really quickly, or even an extra $500 a month or $200 a month, and they go piss it away, and they don't have anything to show for it. You joined this most likely to pay off debt, to create a legacy. There's things you want in your house. Save up that money to pay for it in cash and show people it can be done. So let me get off that soapbox now for a minute and check the chat. Total Money Makeover. Yes, Dave Ramsey, Total Money Makeover. My parents, when I was in college, I racked up over $20,000 in credit card debt. And I was able to pay it off with network marketing in 6 months. And now, again, in the past 6 months, we've paid off over $20,000 in debt again. So this can be done if you guys are smart with your money. My next goal, I'm going to wipe these goals out probably at the beginning of the year and write new ones down, is to pay off my house within the next 4 years. So we took out a 30-year loan. I'd like to have it paid off in 5. Okay. And so, you know how much stress you can relieve by doing that, guys? Your relationships with your spouses, your even just with significant others they are so much more fruitful when the stress of money isn't there. Okay. With your kids, Like being able to say, yes, you can do this. Yes, I can pay for college. Yes, I can, whatever. Just look at those goals. If you're single, write some goals down and put a time limit to it. So, all right, on to the taxes. Aside from being smart with your money, you guys can really, really maximize your write-offs. So you're now a business owner, and there's certain things that you can take into consideration when writing off and doing your taxes at the end of the year. So some of that requires you to pay more attention, write things down, track better, keep receipts, things of that nature. But it's worth it, I promise you. So after I did my taxes and I was going to owe $40,000, I went to a CPA. We did things the right way, and I actually got $3,000 back. So my first recommendation to you is to find a trusted CPA. I am not a CPA. I am not a tax professional. I learned very quickly. I hate sitting down to do taxes. I literally despise it. I extend till September every single year, and literally 2 days before the deadline, I'm sitting there in tears, like trying to get it all done. So I need to get an accountant too. That's the next thing I need to do. But get a tax professional. Make sure it's a trusted one. Go around to small businesses in your area that are fruitful businesses. Go to a networking meeting. Interview some tax people and say, hey, I own my own small business where I get a 1099 and I want to minimize my tax liability. Can you tell me how familiar you are with this? Go to get recommendations. So there's a lot of networking groups here locally that in business to business networking groups that you can ask. Like I just asked my my insurance agent, because he's the leader of a networking group, and I'm like, yo, like my CPA isn't super available, and they always 2 weeks before the deadline, I'll be like, hey, all my stuff's turned in. Like, you guys ghosted me. Like, what's going on? Like, what do you need from me? Did I miss anything? And an hour before the deadline, they're like, oh, sorry. My mom uses them too, and she's had great success with them. But I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, it's giving me a heart attack. So I'm trying to find a better local CPA. So find a CPA. I pay that saved me that amount of money. It was $500 to do my taxes. Do you think that saving $43,000 was worth me paying $500? You bet your ass. So, but you also want to really, really keep your receipts. What I personally do is I have a business checking and business credit card account. I don't put more in that credit card than I have in my actual checking ever. I mostly use that for the rewards, the cash rewards. But every week that we get paid on a Thursday, or every week that my commissions from Thursday payout go into my bank account on Friday, I pay off the card. That's the very first thing I do. I pay off the card before I go out gallivanting that money somewhere. So I have a business account where I run anything business related on those cards. And then I have my statements that I can write, business meal out, sample products, whatever. So either which way works for you. You can take pictures of your receipts. I also know Chase Bank, you could take a picture and upload it immediately into their app. I don't have them for business, but I'm looking into possibly switching over to them. You can scan them, whatever works for you guys. Find a system that works for you guys. There's apps that you can put on your phone, whatever. Now, what sort of things can you write off? You can write off samples, like business samples that you are giving away. I'm not going to tell you oh, what about your own personal products? That is a sample for me. I'm just going to tell you that. Not all of it. You got to be careful with that. You can write off gifts to your teammates. I took Heather out after to lunch or to dinner after a event. I swiped my card, paid for the dinner, and that was a gift. Okay. I sent to my rock stars that are killing it. Last month, I sent and gave them planners. I was looking for one. I thought I had one up here. And so when I swiped my card there, yeah, Heather's got one right there. That was a business expense. When I go out to eat and I'm talking to the waitress or the bartender, and I'm like, listen, I used to be a waitress, I used to be a bartender, we are killing it in this CBD company. I really think you could do the same because you're used to talking to people. What's your email? I'll shoot you a free trial or a free tour of our business. I leave my card and I put that on my business account. That is a business meal. A lot of the mileage that you drive to and from events, to and from meeting people. I have a decal on the back of my car. Actually, it's from an old business, but I'm getting it off and putting a new decal for a HempWorks business. Those miles traveled are write-off. They're a write-off. You can deduct the mileage from your taxes. A CPA can put it in. They'll calculate wear and tear. They'll calculate what gas would be, and you get like 50 some odd cents back per mile, sort of a situation. It depends what the going rate is right now. There is an app that you can download, and you can start and stop as you're traveling to and from events. I just bought a plane ticket to go to Florida for our Rockstar leadership experience. That is a write-off. Every dime I spend while I'm there in Florida, me, I hope Gwen, Clint are all going to go party the second I roll up on the plane, and where I'm going to buy a round of drinks, and that is going to be a write-off. So there's just so many different things you can write off. I'm now currently in my office in my personal house. My mortgage is X amount a month. The square footage of my office space and my meeting space is so much, you can write that off, along with a percentage of your utilities for your house. And this is where you want to consult with the CPA. And if they aren't telling you, like, okay, what's your office space at? What's your meeting space? Any of that stuff, find a new CPA. Okay, because they need to maximize or minimize your tax liability. All of these different things are write-offs, guys. If you go to, I'll share this with you. This is the current CPA that I use. I don't know that I would really suggest going to them because they are so busy, and the owner is like he's a pro tour golfer for the, what is it? The older golfers. Anyways, the retired golfers. Anyways, so he travels a lot, and he's kind of over it and has his daughter running it. And so anyways, they're super busy. So you go to ptaxes.com. And this, if you go to tip, and go to download the tip sheet, this is what I fill out each year. So you can write off, wages and salaries. That I'll get into this in the more complicated part of the training.
Melissa?
Yeah.
Sorry, he does the Frisbee golf. He was number 2 in the world for the Frisbee golf.
Oh.
And he also is now in the process of opening. He's based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He's in the process of opening because they just legalized medical marijuana. So he's going to be opening his own facility.
Yeah. So
he knows what kind of money there is in it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know that I would go to him anymore. I mean, his daughter and his wife do a really good job. They're just really in high demand. So I would that's why I'm looking for someone else, because I don't get when I send my stuff 2 weeks previous and I'm every day reaching out and no one's answering me, I get frustrated. There's plenty of other people I can go with. So,
I don't know how to mute myself back up. Never mind, found it.
Got it? Okay. This is the different stuff you need, but basically I fill this out for them and I turn it in with all my documentation and they just get my taxes done. So, medical expenses, personal medical expenses, dental, doctors, glasses, contacts, nursing home, even mileage, medical mileage, things like that. Taxes paid that you paid during, the year. as an employee, unreimbursed business expenses. So any tools, so like any t-shirts you bought, any office equipment, any dues, like I pay for Audible, $15 a month to get a credit a month, and that's all write-offable. Any books you purchase, any education, if and when, which all of you should be going to conference, that sort of a thing, travel, airfare, taxi, tolls, parking. I mean, look at all this, guys. Just take a screenshot real quick so you have it, or you can write down ptaxes.com and go to the tip sheet. Okay, I don't want to go over individually each one because there's really so many things that you can go over. Charitable contributions. So like if there's registered and unregistered. Cash contributions. This is your business income and what kind of a business you are. Sole proprietorship. I'm actually an S Corp. And since we're about halfway through the Sunday huddle, I try to do an hour or less. I am going to go into that. So other expenses like cell phone. You use your cell phone for business. You use your computer for business. I'm trying to see. Education, training, employee benefits, fuel. That's like non-car fuel. I don't recommend writing off gas, and I recommend writing off mileage instead. Gifts, liability insurance. I pay $300 a year for liability insurance. A lot of the events I work require that. Interest, any interest you've built up on a credit card from the business. I mean, guys, there's just so many. Payroll processing, postage. So when you ship something out to a teammate or to a customer, a thank you card. Telephone, tools, travel, utilities, it's a percentage. So like what I do is I tell them like, this is what I paid total for my entire house for electric, gas, water, etc. And this is how big my business space is in my house. And they take a percentage of it. So that's all things you can write off, okay? I do not recommend like H&R Block. They won't go this into detail with stuff, guys. Your inventory is something you'll have to look at the beginning, since we do retail sales, your beginning of the year inventory versus your end of the year inventory, things like that. And then last but not least, your auto expenses. So I take a picture of my mileage at the beginning and the end of the year. And then I try to also use an app to put through my traveled mileages. This poor baby, she's out. All right, before I go into the whole S Corp situation, do you guys have any questions as far as like what you can write off? Yeah, TurboTax is going to be initiating CPAs as well. I'm not like, I don't have a huge amount of trust in online CPAs. I like to meet with them and know, just because like, I don't know, just a lot of reasons. But yeah, H&R is kind of expensive. Yeah, they charge you, I think, by each form of income. Any questions as far as like write-offs? Keep receipts and just, guys, like wear your t-shirt out everywhere, wear your hat out everywhere. I mean, there's so many different things you can write off. No questions? Your $20 starter kit, all that. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit more in depth. When I started making good money, once you get up into a higher tax bracket, guys, your percentage of taxes rises and rises and rises. So it depends what tax bracket you're in. So I was advised by multiple financial advisors to start a S Corp. So my S Corp name is Family Body Rock. So when you go to my Facebook, you see that I'm the owner of Family Body Rock. And with that, what is a Cricut? I don't know what you're talking about, Mom. Oh, I can write off my Cricut, like a phone. Oh, her machine used to make shirts. Okay, sorry. So Family Body, I need to like not look at that chat. I got a little squirreled for a second. So when you guys get to a certain point and you're comfortable in this, you can create an S Corp. And I believe you can transfer, I have to find out from corporate, you can transfer your primary account to the S Corp. What's up, babe? Nothing, okay. And so with an S Corp, you get an EIN. An EIN is like a social security number for a business. Now, the reason why I went with an S Corp, and I wish someone would have told me this a long time ago, but S Corps are not responsible for federal income taxes. They are not taxed federally. Okay? They only pay employment taxes. I could be a C Corp, but then I'm federally taxed and I'm taxed on employment taxes. So an S Corp means like a small corporation. It costs me like $90 to do that, and then $150 to $200 to publish, because all S Corps have to publish. So at my, we knew a lawyer who got some paperwork together for us. We signed off, became an S Corp. There was like literally Chinese documents that I did not understand. That's why I had the lawyer. And I'm like, I have no interest in learning this stuff. Just don't screw me over. And I'm very close with this lawyer, so it's fine. Now, this is something you can do on your own, too. You can create your own S Corp on your own, but you have to create titles and articles, and you have to divide shares between. So, like, I own 200 shares, and my husband owns 200 shares of Family Body Rock. And the other thing is I made myself president and vice president, and I made him secretary and treasurer. I just think it's funny, so I just throw that in there. But so yeah, it cost me, I think, like all said and done, about $200. Now you could do it cheaper on your own. That's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure it was all done. About $200, Leslie. Is what it cost me. So I would find someone who's familiar with it in your local area, talk with them and see how much, like, once all said and done you can do, or you can do some research on the internet and get it set up on your own. There's templates you can follow as far as setting up the articles and whatnot. It's just, for me, it was worth spending that money to do that. So now, when you do this, all of your earnings need to go into a business account. So you also then need to go set up a business account with the bank. So when I get paid every Thursday, my commissions for my primary account for Family Body Rock, they go into a business account at Bank of America. My account number is, no, I'm just kidding. So then if I need to pay bills with that money, I have to write myself a paycheck. So I write a minimal paycheck to myself each, when I need it. I literally only just wrote my first paycheck to myself recently to pay off this credit card. And so now I chose Bank of America in the meantime because they give you free Intuit, which is a payroll processing. So you literally, like a small business owner does, have to write yourself a paycheck. I told you this would get a little bit more complicated. So I write myself a paycheck. It took me like so much time to figure this shit out. I had to do it all on my own. And so I remember playing with Intuit and it crashing on me. And like, I'm like, what number are they wanting now? Like, what tax ID number? So I write myself this paycheck. You can pay someone for payroll as well. A lot of CPAs also offer payroll processing too. So I write myself this paycheck. It then takes out taxes, okay? You have to set yourself up as an employee. It takes out taxes. It takes out state and federal income tax. All this, just like you would at a paycheck at a job. Social Security, everything, all the like different deductions you get at a job, that's what it takes out automatically for me. Now, that being said, it only, out of my bank account, takes what it actually physically puts on the paycheck as the net. Meaning, like, if I paid myself $7,000 and only made $6,500 because of the remainder's taxes, it's only going to deduct $6,500 from my business account and put that in my personal account because I have direct deposit set up. And that means as a business, I owe the IRS those employment taxes, okay? On top of that, there's some of them that you actually pay double. So just because that was what was taken out of the paycheck does not mean that that's what you will owe in taxes for these employment taxes. Intuit will calculate it for you. They will chronologically calculate it, but here's again where it gets complicated. You need to pay those taxes quarterly. You can set it up to automatically withdraw from your bank account, like as you do a paycheck, or you can pay them quarterly. So there's now quarterly payments you have to make when you become a S Corp, and you also have to do quarterly paperwork and yearly paperwork, which include like giving yourself a W-2, just like a job would. So that's pretty much like the tail end of it. So S Corp, no federal liability, only employment taxes, of which that has been taken out of my paycheck. So when I do my personal taxes each year, sometimes I get money back now because I overpaid and I've got so many write-offs. Okay, so it all kind of keeps it within the system. So there's not that federal tax liability. You do need to write yourself a paycheck, not just pull money out of the account and put it in your other account. That's laundering money. And you also need to do quarterly paperwork and your yearly paperwork. So again, you can get with a payroll specialist and a CPA that will do that for you. It costs money for them to do that for you because that's their job. That's how they pay their thing. Do you know the difference between an S Corp and an LLC? There's a few different things for me. The liability was better to do an S Corp, but they are very similar. I would not trust my advice on which one to go with. I just chose S Corp because every financial advisor I talked to like 5. I interviewed 5. And so that's what they told me to go with. And that doesn't cost you money to talk to a financial advisor. But yeah, that's what I ended up doing. I would say, like, if you're making $10,000 or more a year in this business, guys, you should probably do it. Or if you're super savvy with setting those types of things up, do it immediately. The other benefit to that is now I have 2 accounts with HempWorks. I've got our primary, which is Family Body Rock, and our secondary, which is Melissa and Joe Martin. And that secondary is under my social. The primary is under my EIN. So when I enroll a new customer underneath Melissa and Joe Martin, I make my 50% fast start and Family Body Rock makes 10%. So I'm making 60%. There's other benefits to it as well, but that's what I ended up doing. And that's a whole nother topic. So we won't go too far into that. Anybody else have questions? My suggestion is when and if you guys become an S Corp, definitely get with a professional, but make sure that you just write yourself minimal paychecks, okay? Just what you need to get by, because then otherwise you're going to bump your personal tax bracket and owe more, okay? So, so just what you need to pay bills and whatnot. You can always write yourself another paycheck later. And then when I go out to eat, I don't leave a restaurant or a bar without talking to my server or my waitress about the business. And so every time we go out to eat, I put it on my business account. And so I get to have fun, but I'm still doing a little bit of business. And that money that is used is not federally taxed, right? So it's just a smart way to run it. I wish someone had told me this a long time ago. So coming into the new year, it's something I really wanted to go over with you guys as a team, because there's so many benefits to it. Laura, like you, for sure, girl, you need to become an S Corp. Now you can get even more fancy, and through your EIN, you can actually create, like if you start making $1 million, like this is what Travis and Kristen are doing. they're going to create this is what Warren Buffett does, create what is it called? A charity, what is it, 501(c) or something like that. And you can filter your retirement fund through there. So I have a retirement fund set up through Family Body Rock as well, and that I can end up I start putting more and more money into that. So again, reducing my tax liability because 401ks are pre-tax. This is something I would say when you're in the six-figure income earning, you want to definitely talk to a financial advisor about. They'll set up a retirement fund through your EIN, your S Corp, and you end up borrowing against it when you retire, and money builds up. It's a variable life insurance policy that's set up through there, and it basically gathers money in the stock market and in different investments. So that's, again, I cannot really explain that other than I know that we have these 401k things set up that we're going to be feeding into each month. And then some other piece is attached to it as well, but that gathers money through the stock market. So 503c, perfect. Any other questions? No? All right, well, we are coming into a new year. I want you to write these goals down, write your goals down. Again, I'm gonna say it a lot, but I see new faces on here. There's so many good trainings on the YouTube channel, guys. So many people are like, I'm not getting this business, or my paycheck sucks. And it's like, well, you're not doing the things that are we've already gone over on trainings. Each and every one of you could easily be 25K right now. I mean, I think that anybody could actually go 25K in a month. I've seen it happen before. It's just a matter of how hard you're going to push, how much you're going to learn, how much out of your comfort zone you're going to get. And a lot of the times, if you're not getting the success you want, it's your mindset is the first thing. Your lack of effort is the next thing. Or how you are going about things. So if you're being negative, that is a disclaimer I'm going to put right now. I've hit my friends max, and I'm really tired of seeing negativity on Facebook pages. Of course, your paycheck sucks. You just bitched and moaned about your husband on your personal Facebook page, or how your life sucks. Like, what super affiliate is going to want to join that? So I'm just going to start unfriending people like that, because you clearly don't want to help yourself with success. I'll give you a couple times, and other than that, it brings me down personally, because I want so much I want so much success for you guys. And but I know that you can't want it more for someone than they want it for themselves. And so you got to keep that mentality right. You got to stay positive. Believe me, I have my shitty days. I do. But you have to, because otherwise you're not going to attract positive and performing people onto your team either. So stay positive, write your goals down, look at them, work hard, and perfect yourself. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Again, I like to put my work ethic, I do 33% of my time is geared towards helping my team. 33% of my time is geared towards my personal business, because if you are not enrolling as a leader, then your team is going to decline, because you need to lead by example. And 33% of my time is on development as a leader, personal development, keeping my mind right, because there's some days I start at 0 and I'm like, I'm not getting out of bed. It's not happening. and I gotta get my ass in gear. Today I was like, I don't want to clean the house and I don't want to work. I just want to eat bonbons on the couch all day. And I threw a personal development book on, and I was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5-second rule. And I was like, just do it. Just go. Fold the laundry. Get on the Zoom, do your thing, follow up with 5 people while you're on the toilet. So you just got to do it. So All right, guys, no other questions? Is there a way to share the document from your CPA? Just go to ptaxes.com. ptaxes.com, it's right there, open to the public. Click on the tip document, tip form. Poo money. Yep, toilet money. I love toilet money. Where have you known that you can make money on the toilet or in the bath? Sometimes I'd work. My husband's like, you take a lot of baths, the water bills up. I'm like, yeah, but I'm working in the bath, so I'm making up for it. All right, guys, I'm going to stop the recording.